check out my takes on all things considerable. And today we're live at a weird time when no one knows to expect us live. And that's because it's more dangerous that way. We may run into someone accidentally. So this is a show we do normally at a certain time, and like one or two people show up. So we're doing it live now because I've just gone through the streets. No, I'm not saying that. No, it's a special show because, this is Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. It's the month of May. And I don't ordinarily do this, but I'm doing a show, a show at the Oakland Asian Cultural Center with a group of storytellers, a fantastic group of storytellers called Strong Like Bamboo. Not Strong Like Gong. I mean, they didn't think of that one, Strong Like Gong, but Strong Like Bamboo because, bamboo bends, doesn't break. May 28th, 2 p.m. It's free. Did I say free? Yes, I said free. So everyone should be there. It doesn't cost you anything. There might even be food. It's free, but you'll get storytelling. It's at the Oakland Asian Cultural Center, 388 9th Street in Oakland. You go up to the second floor and you'll find me and a group of Asian American storytellers in action. That's the name of the group. And I want to talk about it because the reason why Strong Like Bamboo is happening is because these Asian American storytellers were, during the pandemic, we're seeing the acts of violence and toward Asians, and so we got to do something. We got to tell our stories. And so Strong Like Bamboo became an idea. Now it's a reality. It's coming up May 28th. And I want to introduce the people behind Strong Like Bamboo, the storytellers. They're the storytellers of Ethnotech. I'm talking about Robert Kikuchi Ngoho and Nancy Huang. Nancy, Robert, welcome to Emil Amok's Takeout.
Welcome, Emil.
Yeah, it's good to see you. How are you?
Doing great. Good.
Yeah, and the show's coming up May 28th. Tell us, whose idea was this in the first place?
Moi.
So Nancy, why did you think this would be a good idea? We'll ask you on May 29th, but why do you think it's such a good idea?
Yeah, because I was a psychotherapist too, and so a lot of my thinking is, how do we heal? How do we respond to the crises that are going on in our world, and particularly this time around the anti-Asian AAPI and violence and hate. Yeah. So I thought, well, it'd be a great idea to gather people to hear other people's stories that are about discrimination that they have experienced, but came through it somehow, as an inspiration for others to also find solace and support and strength in dealing with what's going on, because we all need to know we're not alone, that we have each other and we have allies. So I decided this is what we should do. Called Robert came up with the great title, Strong Like Bamboo.
And the reason why is because there's an ancient Asian anecdote that a single bamboo piece can be bent and eventually broken. But when you put together many bamboos together, they are strong like iron, and it still keeps its flexibility and adaptability. And so I think as Asian American,
that's who we are.
That's who we are. As community, that's where our strength is. As we act collectively, and as we can combine all of our resources, we can pull together through this very strange time.
Yeah, it's a good metaphor. And, if you've ever had to deal with bamboo in your backyard, you can't get rid of it. It just grows and it grows. It's like extended family. It's a great extended family metaphor, but it's strong. It's mostly
it's useful. It can be used in so many ways. So we are here, and we're here to stay, and we need to not put up with this kind of violence and othering anymore. I think we need to say this is an American face and this is what we've done for this country and we are Americans. So, but in the meantime, we need to hear they need to hear our stories so that we become humanized to them, that we're not some stereotype.
Yeah,
And
but
so,
it's funny. We've been here a long time, not just you and I, but Asians in America,
You
going back
bet.
to the 16th century. Settlements in the 17th and 18th and 19th centuries. Why haven't we, kind of connected like bamboo?
yeah.
Right. So my story has a little bit of that in it.
Mhm.
So, my story talks about the othering and why most people around the world, even not just in America, considered America was just white.
Yeah,
And by design, it's really an act of irony that these these people who were expelled from Europe because they didn't fit in,
mhm,
then they colonized America, wiped out the locals, and then they created this concept called well, America's for everybody, but it's not if you're not looking like white. So
right.
the irony is that here, you would think that people who have been expelled and discriminated against in Europe would bring this sense of justice and equality to whoever comes to this land, but not so.
No,
And by
Well,
no.
design,
yeah,
extermination,
They didn't even
genocide, all these
they didn't even let women vote. I mean, it's not
yeah,
it's just white men that have
at the
caused
time.
this kind of
Yeah.
global idea that America is only white and male.
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably too.
Powers that
But
be at
it's
the time.
it's
Yeah, they
it's
created
taken yeah, excuse me. It's taken a long time though for us to and
It-
now with the pandemic, an emergency situation.
yes, now is the time. Now is like this is the time that we speak up and we stop being silent and we begin to say what we need to say.
and that we welcome allies. And we've seen like no other time. I think, when you think about the ethnic identity movement in the 60s, it was like, oh, okay, black power just for blacks. Oh, brown power, La Raza just for browns. Oh, yellow power just for Asians, right? But I think over the decades, with not just the ground breaking, the foundation of civil rights, but also the fact that we've built allyship among all races and even among white power structures. And so we have
Yeah.
our allies, and if we can celebrate those and embrace those, maybe we can make a dent on this
Yeah,
racist
one
stuff.
day, right? And one
Yeah.
day to start now.
Well, I mentioned the pandemic. For many people, some people believe it's over. It's still kind of lingering, but I mentioned the pandemic because Asian Americans were scapegoated during the pandemic. That's when we saw the rise of anti-AAPI violence. I mean,
Right.
that's really the thing that got the got us storytellers to get well. We were meeting just because we were storytellers. I remember the day that the Atlanta spa killings happened,
Yeah.
and it was like we're meeting just to tell some stories, maybe for the upcoming AAPI Heritage Month. And then while we were meeting, the news breaks about 6 Asian American women were killed among 8, and and this is, and it's part of the subtitle, Strong Like Bamboo: Stories of Resilience for Healing in the Era of Anti-AAPI Violence, because that's the pandemic may be over, but we're still in this era of
Yeah.
anti-AAPI violence. And
And
Right.
if you study Asian American history, there are these ongoing uh, atrocities, ongoing
Yeah.
perpetrations against our
From the
communities.
moment we got here,
Yeah.
they began to murder, lynch, beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not new.
Yeah. The Chinese
yeah,
Exclusion Act, the shipping of South Asian Sikhs, driving them out of town, throwing dynamite sticks into the Filipino workers' houses in Watsonville, internment camps of Japanese Americans, all this stuff, the killing of Vincent Chin, all these things have been marking the timeline of American history, which really makes you think that this stuff is so deeply embedded that we may think of just these little incidents, but there is an underbelly that's growing strong with the neo Nazis and the Klan. they're out there and they're pressing forward.
Yeah, and to think Vincent Chin was obviously attacked and murdered, but they were not punished. I think they
Yeah.
were charged $300, and that was
Well,
it.
there was a civil judgment against them, as well as the criminal case. They were
Yeah,
acquitted, but the civil judgment was against them, and there was money that was assessed that should have been paid to the Vincent Chin estate.
but
But
never.
never. I don't think they got a dime. I mean, they're still, because
Right.
of the bankruptcy laws and whatnot, protect people who are, on the hook for this money, and they're still searching for a way to get the money. Anyway, these stories still linger. They continue, and the stories that are going to be told. You've got a story, Nancy, about
Yes.
discrimination you felt and historical in terms of how you were a little girl when this happened, and what you experienced in the South. And right, I mean, it was
And the Midwest and the West Coast. It's not
right,
just South.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. And Robert, you tell a story about being in Davis, California, and about some of the experiences that you had there as a student. But it could have been a story that happened today.
Yeah.
In modern,
I'm
2023.
sure those things still happen
Yeah.
today. Just happened to us a while back, but it still is happening. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have stories told, and there's a number of tellers. There's Linda Yamoto. There's Alton Chung. I left out his full
Okay.
name.
Takayama.
Takayama, Alton Takayama. He's really legendary Asian American storyteller. There's MJ Kang. There's myself. So it's some stories we're going to tell, but there's also other things too. There's going to be a panel.
Right. A
Yeah.
panel where the audience gets to ask questions and we get to respond. And then there's going to be a breakout time where people will go into small pods to be able to tell and share their own stories with compassionate listening. And I'll explain what that is to them. We're going to have a short film,
Mhm.
2 films, excerpts that are really, really powerful about how to religious. One was Buddhist and one was Christian, and how they responded to the vandalism that they experienced in their buildings. And then we're going to have Robert sing a beautiful song.
Yeah, the song was written by Chrissy Jima of the Chris and Joe duo, eventually trio with Charlie Chin. The song that Chris wrote is called "We're Still Here," and it gives not only snippets of Asian American life, the produce seller in the corner, Mrs. Kim, or Mrs. Gomez, the Filipino night shift worker at a pediatric ward, but also it ties it in with the history of serving the food and building the railroads and being locked up behind camps, and yet we still have this fire of justice we need to keep bringing forward. And the tagline is that we're still here, we're going strong, and yeah, it's a powerful story. Even though Chris has passed away many years now,
But it's a great,
it's a
beautiful
great
song.
song.
And then after his song, we're going to celebrate with the senior Asian rap group. They're
Ollie,
Asian
called the Follies.
rappers. Asian
Yes, Asian
rappers.
elder. They're like,
El- Older.
70s.
So
Yeah,
so everyone reveres them, and
worship.
they're rapping.
they 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 get down. They
Yeah,
They
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 get
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 that.
down.
down. They get
Respect
down.
your elding rappers.
Yeah.
They
And
do.
that's always fun. It's always fun to see old people rap.
And they're
It
going to be
is. It is.
organizations presenting. Organizations have come have throughout Chinatowns in Oakland and San Francisco, in the Black community and Korean communities, to help with this kind of problem.
Oh, there they are. They
Yeah.
have to come May
What-
28th. They can't. They're not allowed to enter now.
right,
And
right,
on
right,
May
right.
28th, they're going to be, and that's May 28th between 2 and 5 p.m. This is like an extravaganza.
Oh, I hope we can use. I hope we get everything in there because there's so much that we would love to do to support people, to make them feel very, that they're not alone. And I'm hoping for some healing in that,
So,
So we could go on more, but we said 2 to 5.
And during that time, it'll also be streamed, so
Oh
that whether
yes,
you're
it's
in
live.
Iowa or Michigan, you'll get to zoom in on that one.
Yeah,
right.
so
So,
it is live, and people can come from all over the country to also see the whole event.
so let me just say that it's free May 28th, 2 to
Yeah.
5 p.m. Pacific time. They should register at eventbrite.com and look for Strong Like Bamboo, and you'll find it on May 28th, 2 to 5. You register, it's free. You'll get a
Yes,
Zoom link if you want to attend by Zoom. And even if you are, say, the event is live in Oakland at the Oakland Asian Cultural Center on
and there's a
3.
different link
Yeah.
to registering for that.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. If they want to stay home and watch it, they can do it.
Yeah, so if you're in Emeryville, which is right next to Oakland, and don't feel like going down to Oakland Chinatown at 388 9th Street, you can zoom in and you can take in the program. It's free, and it's at 2 p.m. 2 to 5, and so it's going to be like storytelling from people like myself and Alton and MJ and Robert and you, Nancy. But then
Uh,
there's going to be a panel discussion. Russell Jung, who is professor of ethnic studies at San Francisco State College of Ethnic Studies. He was the chair for a while. He also was a co-founder of Stop AAPI Hate, and that's important. I've interviewed Russell a number of times. Just when the statistics were starting
Yeah,
to break on
yeah.
on the number of transgressions against Asian Americans, he's going to be there, and I guess he'll be leading the panel, and so we'll be talking about our stories. People can then they break into like in the Zoom room, they'll have breakout rooms, but live, they'll be able to tell their own stories to each other. So there's a kind of a healing element. I mean, you hear
Right.
other people's stories, and then if you're an Asian American and you want to, you know, tell your story, there you would have that opportunity.
Right,
And
right.
whether you're Asian or not, we welcome everyone. In
Yeah,
fact, even if you're zooming in from
yeah. Zooming,
Tampa,
they'll have
Florida,
breakout
there'll be
rooms.
chats. People can send in their
Well,
questions or
and
their
also they'll
comments.
go into breakout rooms and be
Yeah.
able to so,
Yeah.
share their concerns, their fears, their hopes.
Their experiences.
Yeah,
I mean, but there's that idea that you attend this and you get a little entertainment. Robert will tell a few jokes. I'll tell a few jokes. Also, the pain. You'll feel the pain, the tragedy.
Emil,
But-
tell some painful jokes, please.
Yeah, some pain.
but
Yeah,
also we'll be celebrating our resilience, our the way that we have responded to those situations.
yeah. Well, the stories will be they're real stories about
Real-
how. And look, here's the thing about stories. And even though I joke about saying these are tragic tales, but the fact that we're telling them means we survived.
Right.
The fact that we're telling them means that we are okay. We have gotten through that period of what we're telling stories about,
Right,
and
right.
hopefully people see that and say, yeah, yeah, and
I can do this too.
And
Yeah.
as we're
Right.
listening and sharing as a community, again, it's like that anecdote of the bamboo. It really makes us stronger together
Yeah.
as community.
And I
Yeah.
think sharing our stories makes us real to people. And I think it's very important that we stop being silent and we share our stories, because that stories are powerful. Stories enter the mind through the heart first.
Yeah.
So that's a powerful way to reach people and to make a really deep impact.
And scientifically,
People.
they've proven that when people hear stories, it enters the part of the brain that starts producing endorphins,
And yeah,
oxytocin,
oxytocin,
and that's
which is
the hormone for compassion.
yeah,
Yeah, we need a lot of that. I guess the serotonins.
serotonin, yes, as well.
Right?
And there's a new one that the scientific experiment research that shows that when people listen to a story together, their hearts start to beat at the same time.
Ah, let's
I
see how
know.
syncopated we are. Oh,
Yeah,
we keep
right.
hitting
Um,
each other.
Dude.
So
Yeah.
no, it's funny you mentioned story, and that these last couple of years have seen an explosion of Asian American stories on the big
Yes.
screen, the little screen, all the screens, Netflix screens. Have you seen Beef? I mean, Beef is a
Yes.
great
We
episodic.
stayed up till 4 in the morning. We
binge,
couldn't
baby,
stop.
Oh
binge.
yeah, and yeah, I agree. I was going to say, okay, I'm going to give it 5 minutes. Oh, 4 episodes
Right.
later, we can't watch all 10 now, but
Oh,
yeah,
we did. Oh my
yeah,
God, it was crazy.
What's nice
it
about
was.
that story too is that it showed different classes. It showed the
Mhm.
class conflict, but in a humorous way,
Yeah,
and even sometimes it made the very wealthy Asian American look kind of foolish. And on the opposite side, then the working class stiff that thought he'd get away with the scam, it made him look pretty foolish too. So we can laugh at our follies,
yeah,
and see that it does resolve in the end.
yeah,
I
and
know.
don't forget, you got to watch out for those Filipinos. The Filipinos are after us.
The gang, that's right.
I mean,
That's right.
the Filipinos are always after,
That's right.
Isaac.
That's
Isaac
right.
was a bad dude. If he
It's not.
was good with the Filipinos, he was okay. But and
That's
there's a
right.
lot
But
of
watch out for that Lumpia gang, man. They might
yeah.
get you good.
They're the Olympias. They are rappers. They
They're
are
punch
rappers.
punch. Right.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's been subsequent stories about David. The guy who played Isaac. Apparently, he's a kind of a bad dude in real life
Got
too.
some bad.
I don't want to get into that. I mean, he's an artist. He, was featured in a Anthony Bourdain episode, and that's how a lot of people know him. Oh, he's actually known for being an artist in L.A., Korean artist, Korean American. But I haven't really followed some people have taken some exception to some real life comments. But anyway, that's part of being Asian American, modern Asian American.
We're
We're
Oh,
everything.
people.
We're
yeah.
everywhere and everything.
And who doesn't have some dark shadow? You know what I
Ah,
mean?
yes. Let's see. Let's go
Right?
over Nancy's dark shade. No, no. The thing about beef is that Ali Wong has gone from local San Francisco comic to big major. I mean, I saw her years ago when she was in a an Oliver Stone film. She played some Asian nymphomaniac in
Wow.
yeah, I mean it's kind of maybe typecasting, I don't know. Because and she plays some racy scenes in beef, but you see her career arc. It's fascinating because it's an Asian American, and other Asian Americans see that and say, wow, that's an Asian American, and other non-Asian Americans see that and say, wow, I wonder if my Asian American friends are that racy. But it just opens up the world, right? It opens up the world. So you got beef, you got uh well, of course, Crazy Rich Asians a couple years ago.
Everything, everywhere, all the time. That's
Yeah,
us.
yeah, everything everywhere all at once, and it wins the Oscar. My God. And
And you think that after a lot of this hype and the celebrity thing, there are a lot of now really well-known, famous Asian American high-profile celebrities in sports and in movies and in science, of course. And you think that with all of that, with the decades we've been here, centuries of being here in this country, making this country, that we're still seen as the other. And that's
Yeah.
really because undertone, there's part of this cultural software is that the racism is there, and
Yeah.
it's really it takes a lot of work to counter that negative narrative.
yeah, and it's true. I mean, we've seen a lot of Asian Americans now, but not the first time. I mean, you tell me about Pat Morita, you tell me about Margaret Cho,
Anne Wong.
yeah,
Anime Wong.
Anime
Yeah.
Wong. I mean, we've been Anime Wong's interesting because she was the first, and she was kind of replaced a lot or not
Oh,
given the part of the Asian because they gave it to a white woman and they did some
and
kind of
they do the
prosthetic.
makeup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have seen just our history is one of being discriminated against and fighting to be included. And to see
Struggle.
us now, yeah, in 2023, amidst this explosion in Hollywood and, in the regular screens, that we still have
Mhm.
this era, as you call it, the era of anti-AAPI violence, which is is very real.
Yeah.
So hopefully these stories that we tell and the panel and the ability to have people tell stories as well at this session. And mind you, the session is live in Oakland at the Oakland Asian Cultural Center,
Mhm.
May 28th, 2 to 5 p.m. It's free. That should bring us like that should sell it out, right? If it's
And
free, it
you're
doesn't cost you
doing
anything.
a mini one in San Francisco on June 13th.
Strong Like Bamboo
Very
2.
mini. It's only 1.5
2.0
hours.
is
It's
coming to
like
your city.
we're going to only have 4 storytellers, and there's no panel, and it's just discussion
And
afterwards.
that'll be at the Noah Space in San Francisco, the Noah Theater. I can't remember the address there. 3 something.
It's in the Mission. Yeah.
Right. Look up Noah, NOH
I know
Space.
it's the No Theater. Okay, and that's on the 13th. And then
And 30
and
at night. Just
so it's a they'll people will get to tell stories, they'll get to see some short films. And at 2 to 5, it's kind of a commitment, but no different from seeing a double feature, say.
exactly. And not only that, it'll go by very fast because it's going to be really a powerful 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, I hope that people will take the time. It's a Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah.
Sunday, May
Yeah.
28th. Oakland Asian Cultural Center, which is really a great space, 388 9th Street, but it's on the second floor. People have to like know that you got to go up to the second floor, and
Right.
then and then
Yeah.
you're in.
To use the metaphor, kind of rise to the occasion.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's going to be like I said, it's not all like solemn.
No, it's be inspiring.
Yeah, exactly. Inspiring. It'll be some
Real, deep, and inspiring.
that's what we hope for. That's what we hope for. And of course I'll be there. So I'm happy to
Well,
be
there you have
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
happy to be there. May 28th at the Oakland Asian Cultural Center, 388 9th Street. And once again, you go there live, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. But if you can't make it, no matter where you are in the country, in the world, you can zoom in. And all you have to do is you have to register for the event, right? Right. You
Yeah.
register for the
You can
event.
get links. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get the link at go to Eventbrite and look for Strong Like Bamboo, May 28th. And then as I said, if you don't choose to attend the live event, you can attend it via Zoom and still get the impact of the stories.
Absolutely.
So, well, wow. I don't know why I've avoided doing this with you guys for so long. It's
We'll do more.
it's not that I don't like you. I mean, I've known you. I've known you guys for years, decades, and
Right.
you know, we haven't mentioned it only in passing, but you are the founders of Ethnotech, which is a theater storytelling group that is dedicated to Asian American stories, and you
And
do
traditional Asian folk tales and myths. And yeah, our mission is to build cultural bridges that celebrate diversity and create compassionate communities through the art of storytelling.
that is a good mission statement. That sounds like several go rounds with a mission statement carver. That's a good one. But but now I know you from that. I remember when you first had the Kulantan gongs
That's right.
Yep.
I'm
back
the
when in the 80s.
He started that. He's the
Yep.
one who started the whole Kulintang movement when he came back in 80
Yeah.
to start a school and a performance company.
And since
Yeah.
then, it's resounded and reverberated many a
Yeah.
gong.
I remember Robert with his Kulantong there's
Tubao.
yeah, the
Yeah.
tubao.
Yeah.
I can see I'm wearing my tubao as a neck.
Yes.
I have a picture of you wearing that when you were, I think you were at KTVU doing reporting for
No,
that.
KRON.
KRON,
When
sorry,
it was good, when it was NBC.
in the old days.
Yeah, the old days. So yeah, I had a tubao. Or you had a tubao. I have several.
And I had a malong.
Yes, and
Because I
so
did the choreography, and He taught all the music and the parts, all the parts, the chants, the yeah, he was
Cool Tongue's making a comeback. It's never went away,
yeah, no,
but it's coming on strong, and so that's good. So Ethnotech does traditional Asian stories,
now
and
we do.
very different from the kind of storytelling I talk about, where people get killed.
Yeah, they're
But
very choreographed.
yeah,
So there's movement and gesture, and because there are two of us, it's quite,
yeah, that's a yin and yang. Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
No,
Yeah.
it's very. Go to ethnotech.org. Ethnotech
Yes. Yeah.
ethnotech.org to find out more about that. And then, the storytellers, like, I actually have renewed my acquaintance with Robert and Nancy because of the Asian American storytellers in action, which
That
is,
are the
it spells out Asia, Asian
yes.
American storytellers. Now,
Aja. Aja.
Aja, it could have been Filipino if it was Asian American storytellers in asparagus.
Asparagus or adobo.
Adobo. Oh, adobo. That would that would have been very. But there are Filipino story. Well, me and
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah,
he's half.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's a
And Eleanor's half.
Eleanor's half. So it's a
Yeah.
Pan
And
Asian.
the story behind that, with starting Asia, the storytellers group, is that also during the pandemic and the rise of anti-Asian hate violence, we thought, well, wait, we need to use our storytelling to raise awareness. And they say that racism starts at an early age, so why not address and celebrate our culture and put it out there for kids and families on YouTube? So that's where the YouTube channel started. That's
Yeah.
Asian
Asian American
American
Storytopia of K through 5. And its purpose and its goal through fun and activities, stories and activities, to break up the stereotypes that kids might learn at an early age.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it's
so
hoping to
K through
prevent
5.
prejudice.
Yep.
Yeah, K through 5. I'm pre-K only.
Pre-K.
Maybe next year I can qualify.
Yes, your inner pre-K stayed the same, but the body changed, outer
Yeah,
lining of it.
yeah. That's
Right?
yeah. I'm
It's
just a
like
little.
butong, butong, the coconut that's really young. It's got that baby
Oh,
inside, but
buko, buko.
a hard, yeah, a hard brown outside. Yeah, much like yourself,
Oh,
Emil,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, brown on the outside, white on the
but
inside. Yeah.
very young on the inside. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, young, not just white. Yeah. Young on the inside. I
we
got it.
better stop here. I think.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, really, it's great talking to you guys again. We should do it again. We should do it
I think
again.
Sure.
so.
I mean, we're live. We got a handful of people saying, "What the heck is this? What is these are Asian people here? These are Asian Americans." I
Yes,
know I'm going to find something weird on Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific
you
Islander
created a new stereotype, right?
heritage. Yeah, right.
Weird.
Weird.
We,
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, no, Robert and Nancy, I've known you a long time, and it's about time we worked together. But only once in May 28th, and not the June thing. But that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. May 28th. That's the big show.
So
The big
far
show.
away. You're so
Oh,
far
sorry.
away.
I'm in the extreme East Bay. That's how I that's how I
Can't
can take
be
to San
off,
Francisco.
right?
No,
far, Dublin, I think.
yeah, no, I kept driving east until I found a parking space.
Tracy, that's Tracy, right?
Oh no, further. No parking, in Tracy. There was no parking.
Oh wow,
You're not in Stockton, are
you
you?
are
No, I parked by the asparagus fields. Anyway, uh,
Stockton, pretty close to
May
Stockton.
28th is a Sunday, and it's
Mhm.
after church between 2 and 5 p.m. The Oakland Asian Cultural Center, 388 9th Street. It's Oakland, Chinatown. The second floor, you'll find Nancy and Robert, and I'll be there. And great storytellers like Linda Yamoto, MJ Kang, Alton Takayama Chung, right? Alton is a great storyteller. MJ,
And
great.
maybe MJ might be Kung, huh? Like wow.
Kang. Yeah, she might be
Kang,
pretty.
Kang, yeah, yeah. And Linda Yamoto, great storyteller. And then Russell Jung, who is a co-founder of Stop AAPI Hate, he'll be there to lead the panel as he talks to the storytellers about our stories. And
Or
Nancy,
about anything the audience wants to know.
anything you want,
Or say, or even say. Because
right?
it's the whole point is to have dialogue.
Yeah.
that supports all of us, that informs all of us, that inspires all of us.
And
No,
I want to mention that you don't have to be Asian to attend this event.
Absolutely not. We welcome allies.
we want you
We
there.
want you there. I mean, remember, it's called building cultural bridges. So we want to connect. We
Yeah.
really want to connect
We want
because
you,
that's the way
yeah.
things will change.
we want you to connect, and we want to build bridges, and we'll make you do all the work.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Well,
That's
they
not,
have a lot of work to do.
Well, you can pull out the thing. Well, some of my best friends are white. You know.
that's
So-
right. Or yeah,
Yeah.
and then we'll make them do the work. Yeah. So no, this
We
is
all pull together on this.
yeah. It's it's going to be fun, but also we know when to be appropriate.
Yeah, it will be fun.
Yeah.
And
I
the
mean,
fall,
yeah.
yeah, the follies, those rappers.
yeah. Oh yeah. Where'd you find them?
I've seen them I've seen them in not live though. I've only seen them on YouTube.
The Clara
Oh,
Shoe
okay.
of
But
the Clarion Arts
Clara
Center.
Shue is in it, and she's been kind of a colleague of ours. She's performed in our
Great
salons
poet.
that we used to
Wonderful
have
poet.
up here at Ethnosec, and she's a wonderful poet. So now she runs the
Clarion Performing Arts Center.
Clarion Performing Arts Center in
Wow.
Chinatown,
In
San
Oakland,
Francisco.
Chinatown?
San
San
Francisco.
Francisco. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well, God, I'm eager to see them, but that means that I'm eager to see the end of the program.
that's right. You got to see.
No, but I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay. And I heard the rumor there might be snacks. So, but what do you say? It's free. It's free. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
People have a fun time.
Bring your
All
own
right.
snack too.
Oh, that's very Asian to bring bottling.
Right. But no cracking peanuts like they do in China and throw the
the
peanut shells
floor.
on the floor.
But if you bring Asian lunch, no one will make fun of you.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Do a Costco run.
Yeah.
Ranch 99.
Doors
run.
will be open at 1:30, so they can come in, find the great seat, peruse the organizations, look at the
Yeah.
program, talk
Yeah.
with your
You know,
friends.
we're so Asian that after a party or potluck, we
Yeah.
stayed till the very end so we can bring the leftovers home.
Yeah, this is this is really like an Asian American storyteller Coachella. You come,
Good chill. Without the body.
yeah, prepare for the desert. You're in the desert.
Right.
It's going to be fun, and you walk away with a better understanding about what Asian Americans have gone through, not just during this era of anti-AAPI hate, but also historically, because it shouldn't be what we inherit. It's Heritage Month, so it's what we inherit, but it's also history. History we can change, right? We can talk about what
can
is
create a new history.
Yeah.
create
We
a new.
can't change the past history.
Learn from
Right.
it. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also we'll be providing links and tips, the best practices if you're on the street. Especially we know that there may be some elderly in the crowd, so we want to make sure they can be safe with some ideas.
Well, all of us need to be safe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just-
Well, look, we are close to the endangered, protected,
Species.
group. That we like. I got my sixth vaccine. I got.
Wow.
Wow, that's good for you.
Wow.
Well, they said that if you're eligible, you can get it. And I said, I'm going on an airplane. I'm going to get it, and I got it. And now, I know. And actually, and this is true. I mean this wholeheartedly. This is going to be one of my first public events here in the Bay Area. Because I did my show in New York. I went on some airplanes, and I figured, well, I didn't get sick, so it's time, right? Time to come out of my closet here and go out to where you guys are. And the
Yeah.
first time I'll be seeing you live, I guess. And my God, like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
At
It's a
least.
reunion. It's a reunion.
And I thought you were only this big.
Yeah. Well, I'm much bigger than a Zoom box, but not much. But God, it's true. This will be the first time for me to see many of my fellow Asian American storytellers and you, and I want to invite anyone who's listening to this to
Please
Tell your
come.
friends.
And
And
already there's about 75, 76, 80 people have already registered. That doesn't mean they're all going to come, but
Keep spreading the
still,
word. Yeah.
just
if they do, we want to be prepared, and I want to show
yes.
the
That's what we need to know
here
how
it is.
many chairs to put out, how many pods to create. So please, yeah, if you're coming, register, please.
Like bamboo is or
Strong like
strong like bamboo.
Yeah.
Not just like
No,
that.
not like it.
Strong
The strong
like
has to be
bamboo.
bigger,
yeah,
baby.
actually the picture needs to be bigger.
Yeah. And so
We
so
need to be bigger.
yeah, and it's yeah, like I said, you can't kill bamboo. It's resilient.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
barely
You
think of it.
you ask any gardener about what happens when you try to rip out bamboo from a yard, it is a headache. It is a
Right.
and
It is.
that's a virtue, the virtue of bamboo, you know?
Yeah. But not
And
only that, but it lasts. I mean, it can
yeah,
be bamboo forever. It doesn't rot like wood does,
That's
yeah.
right.
And they make toilet paper out of bamboo?
Yeah.
It's a
And
little hard. It's a
they
little
make
hard.
bamboo clothing too.
Down in
Yeah.
my garage, I have my mother's set of Sinkil poles. I can't get rid of them. They're just hanging. Hi, mom. I remember you.
Yeah. So, well, listen, it's so fun talking to you guys. It's too bad that you live over there in San Francisco. No, it's not too bad. No, because you
No,
guys
but
are
it's
all
too bad you live way out there.
you guys are
Hey,
global. You guys are global.
we
You
got
guys are
Restream. We
global.
got the internet. We're everywhere.
Yeah. And so no, it's great that this is part of the Asian American Storytellers in Action and part of that we have this community and we want to share this with other members
Yeah.
of not just Oakland but the world. You can check it out
Yes.
on
Yes.
Zoom
Yeah.
and just by going to Eventbrite. That's eventbrite.com, eventbrite.com. It's
Yeah.
May 28th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's free and I think it's going to be fun.
I
Yeah.
think it will be.
It's
And
going
of
to
course,
be important.
applause to you, Emil, for running this program. Emil Amok for all the many, many weeks and how many years now? 3 years?
Well, I started doing this at the pandemic, and but I have done my podcast for maybe 5 years or so,
Wow.
and the podcast that you get on, wherever you podcast, that's one thing. But then I do this sort of like the secret podcast where it's sort of live, and it's on Facebook and it's on YouTube, and who knows? No one watches, but that's all right. That's all
Right.
right. It's okay. We're not doing this for an audience. I mean,
But
we're
and there's so much Zoom stuff going on.
And
It's
podcasts.
overwhelming.
yeah.
You
When
can
they
only do
find
so much.
yeah, well, but when they find it, it's good, and hopefully they'll find this because they'll say, "Oh, there's Nancy and Robert, and we want to see them."
And
And
we are
yeah,
recording it so that they can eventually see it on our YouTube channel.
oh,
Ethnic YouTube.
great. All right, so listen, thank you very much, Robert and Nancy,
Thank you.
and really, and I'm hoping you can tell I'm hoping. Well, we know people are going to show up.
Yeah.
We know people are going to be there on May 28th, but I want to see because I've been to that hall and they put chairs out in the center and there's still a lot of room. I want to see it brimming with people wanting.
We don't want too many because we're going to break up into pods. There's
Oh,
not many pods we can create, right?
all right. So some of you stay home.
So
Some of you stay home.
the chosen
The
who
chosen
know.
No. It's not elitist. It's not elitist.
No. I'm saying they know if they're supposed to be there
Ah,
and
that's right.
get there. Yeah.
That's right. And I'll be there in my monk's robe. I meditate now. That helps me. And the pandemic taught me to meditate.
Wow.
My joke is during the pandemic I went to med school.
Oh, meditation.
Meditation school. Yeah. All right.
Very good.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right. So, well, look. Thank you for being here, and
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
yeah. And now we'll show how technically advanced we are. I will sing you off, and Robert, Nancy, May 28th, Oakland Asian Cultural Center, strong like bamboo.
Yes.
It's free. Go to eventbrite.com.
Don't miss it. It's going to
Don't
be
miss.
powerful.
It's going to be powerful. I think it's going. Oh, I got to play the Emil Guillermo music here.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Where is he? Oh, I there it is. The Emil Guillermo music here. So yeah. So Robert, Nancy, thank you very much. There they go. There they go. Robert and Nancy are off. I'm telling you, they're a handful of those guys. They tell good stories. Asian American Storytellers in Action is the name of the group where, we work together, and they got these grants together, and they said, we're going to put on a free show. I don't often do that. I usually charge at least $1, but the free show, May 28th. It's more than a show, though. It's like a Lollapalooza of anti-Asian American violence. You're going to get Russell Jung, who started. He was a co-founder of Stop AAPI Hate. He's going to be there leading a panel. And then all these storytellers. Who, Emil? Well, storytellers like, look at those storytellers. MJ Kang, Alton Chung, Linda Yamoto. We're telling, a story about in our lives about what has happened to us in terms of anti-Asian hate that we've experienced. And I'm going to tell my stories. Those of you who know me, I'm going to tell my story about my cousin, a short version of my cousin Stefan, because this is May. May is Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and coincidentally, May is also the month when my cousin was shot, killed, and they had the murderer. They let him go. So I'll tell that story and others. Like I said, it's, when we joke around, it's because there's so much pain in our stories that sometimes you have to joke around a little bit in order to deal with the situation. Anyway, it'll be fun, and I look forward to seeing you all there, May 28th. And if you read my stuff on the ALDEF blog, the Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund, at aldef.org/blog, I'll be writing about it there. I'll be writing about it if you read my column in the Oakland Post. Yes, the Oakland Post. I'll be talking about it there, and all the other places where you can zoom in Hawaii, the Hawaii Filipino Chronicle, all the places where the Emil Guillermo column empire lives. I'll be writing about it because it's a big deal. Strong like bamboo, May 28th, 2 to 5. It's free. Did I say it's free? It's free. Oakland Asian Cultural Center. Great place great venue for anything. Great venue to watch a performance, to have panels, to get together. It's 388 9th Street in Oakland, second floor. And you got to, find your way up there, but you'll get there, and then you'll say, Eureka. And then register at Eventbrite, eventbrite.com. That's EVENTBRITE.com. And look for Strong Like Bamboo, and you'll find us May 28th. Okay, that's going to do it for this special edition of Emil Muck's Takeout. Thank you very much. We're here Monday through Friday live, generally at 2 p.m. This is recorded today for the people who are going to watch it too. But those of you who found us live, here we are. Thank you for being here. We're here. You can find us on Twitter at Emil Amok, EMILAMOK. You can find us on YouTube. YouTube at Emil Amok 1. You can find us on Facebook at fb.com/EmilGuillermo.media, or my name, Emil Guillermo. Oh, so many places you can find us. And replays at amok.com. So, as I say to you that, I went to meditation school during the pandemic. One of the things they teach you is loving kindness. They teach you the metta meditation. And it's when you envision people you love or people you hate, and you just send out your love to them. And then watch it come back twofold, threefold, fourfold back to you. That's the secret. That's the secret. And so, As I wish for me, I wish for you. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. Emil Guillermo here. Back in tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific. Till then, mahal